Damn. Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy. Damn.
What's up, my Nimrod? It's Gage coming back at you guys again with another dose of that fresh, never frozen Yu-Gi-Oh content. Again, I'm 1,000,000,000% thankful that you guys would spend just a couple of minutes with me here today to talk about a children's card game we both mutually enjoy so fucking much. Happy Valentine's Day, my Nimrods, and if you're watching me talk about a children's card game and wondering why you can't get women, I assure you there's probably no correlation. But today in the Hallmark holiday, that is Valentine's Day, which really, we just look at it as a sham, but hey, it makes for good video ideas. Today I decided to delve into the history of a rather old card that is kind of thematic to today's holiday, and that card is Injection Fairy Lily. You guys have probably definitely seen this chick before, but for the people that haven't, Injection Fairy Lily is a level 3 Earth spellcaster monster with the effect of if this card attacks or is attacked during damage calculation in either player's turn, you can pay 2,000 life points. Once per battle, this card gains 3,000 attack during that damage calculation only. Its base attack line is 400, its base defense line is 1,500. Released all the way back as a secret rare in LOD, Legacy of Darkness, this card's actually had a pretty interesting history throughout the game, and at one time this card was deemed so crazy that it was actually put on the forbidden section of the Forbidden Limited list. In today's standard, this card just seems awful as it's really easy to summon big dudes with big attack stats rather easily, but to really understand why this card was good originally, we have to take a trip all the way back to LOD, which is one of the first few sets in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever released. Injection Fairy was released as a secret rare, and when we're looking at vanilla Yu-Gi-Oh! Standards, this card was crazy. A normal summonable monster that can easily pump itself up to 3,400 attack just by paying measly 2,000 life points was actually crazy back then. Really, there was no way you could get over an Injection Fairy Lily by battle. You had to find a way to get rid of it by a spell or a trap because there was nothing just really contesting this card when it hit the board. The only thing about Injection Fairy Lily though is people back then considered it more of a skillful card because you had to understand what was an optimal time to pay 2,000 life points. In today's metagame, we're just spending life points like they're nothing. Cards like Solemn Judgment, spend half my life points, I don't give a fuck, spend 2,000 to negate a summon, fuck out of here. I'll spend as much life points as I want if I get super powerful effects. I'll bring myself down to 1,000 life points if I can win the duel. That's just been the mentality with life point cards in general. Life points aren't that really valuable of a resource to us. If we can get super powerful effects in exchange for them, we really don't have a problem spending that much. Injection Fairy Lily really wasn't an exception back then too. Spending 2,000 life points to beat over any monster in the game pretty much, definitely very valuable. Pretty much always worth it. But the thing that separated amateur players from really good players is understanding when you gotta hit the brakes and say, okay, maybe I'm spending a little bit too much here. I'm down to 500 life points and I'm about to get beat over by a fucking Sangan. GG, my homie. It's nice having an effect where you can make your card beefy as fuck literally as many times as you want, but you gotta realize when you gotta say, okay, maybe I just gotta find a different card I gotta bring out because this is gonna literally kill me. But Injection Fairy Lily happened to be so good that it was actually put on forbidden status along with cards like Cyber Jar and Fiber Jar, incredibly, back in 2004. We want to take a look at that even in today's standards. Injection Fairy Lily was put to 0, along with two cards that have remained 0 since the dawn of the game, Fiber Jar, Cyber Jar. Injection Fairy Lily was equally powerful as those cards, but at least Konami said so. That's just literally like unfathomable to think about today, now that this card's back at 3. Injection Fairy Lily was actually on the forbidden list for one of the shortest times. It's one of the cards that remained like that too. It was put forbidden for literally one format, and then it was back to playable again. But for the most part, when Injection Fairy Lily came back to the game, it kind of just laid low a little bit. I did see some light play in Earth Beatdown type decks that utilize Giant Rat to be able to pull it out from the deck, or also cards like Sangan. That was really easy way to search it, excuse me. But one of the more interesting points where Injection Fairy Lily saw play was actually, I always bring up this format because it's like literally one of my favorite formats to talk about in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just how amazing it was. And that's the most powerful format of all time, a lot of people would say, Dragon Ruler format. Injection Fairy Lily saw some light play, mostly tech choices in the OCG. I don't know if it really translated here into the TCG, but people were playing Injection Fairy Lily in spellbooks. I totally understand the card is called Injection Fairy Lily, but the card is definitely not a fairy. card's a spellcaster, and since it's a spellcaster, it happened to tie in rather well to spellbooks, for the reason that spellbooks needed options to get over Ophion. If you guys watched my Gen X Durark video I released not too long ago, I talked a lot about the trifecta of the format that was spellbooks, dragon rulers, and evil swarm. Well, spellbooks didn't have that many ways to get around an evil swarm. Ophion that searched an infestation pandemic. Infestation pandemic was a really good card to counter that of spellbook of fate. And unless you've got the secret sauce that is a spellbook of power along with the spellbook of master to boost up a guy to be able to beat over it, half of the time some of your guys couldn't even do that. Even though spellbooks had it a lot easier than Dragon Wars, I would say, to get over Ophion, it still put spellbooks in an odd place to get over this beast that was an Ophion. And the choice that OCG players tended to gravitate to was actually Injection Fairy Lily. It was a spellcaster that you can just slap onto the board and then attack over the Ophion immediately and then still continue your plays after that. You could activate Spellbook of the Master because you controlled a spellcaster type monster and everything. It was an okay card. You could also summon it off a Judgment, and if your opponent moved into their turn, they would have to attack into it, which you could then just pay 2,000 life points to beat over the Ophion or whatever that would try to crash over it. It actually ended up being an okay tech choice. Again, we saw this more in the OCG than we did in the TCG, I think, but it is something worth bringing up that this is an option that people had to try to get over Ophion. And actually, after that light play in spellbooks, Injection Fairy Lily really hasn't seen the light of day since. We haven't seen this card really pop up anywhere or actually see playing anywhere. It's kind of disappointing, but this card definitely has an interesting legacy to talk about. Again, I just find it incredible that this card's power level was comparable to that of Fiber Jar and Cyber Jar in 2004 when it was forbidden for one format. That's fucking mind-blowing. Like, somebody in Konami's office had to literally sit down and say, okay, Cyber Jar's too good, that card's gotta go. Fiber Jar, way too good, resets games, that's gotta go. Injection Fairy Lily, fuck that bitch. That's gotta go too. It just feels like they were like giving cards the fucking ham sandwich that format for no reason then. And again, Injection Fairy Lily was taken off the forbidden section of the forbidden limited list one format later. Fucking cool. Let me know what you guys think of Injection Fairy Lily though. Was there any other additional play of the card that I missed when I'm talking about it? Again, I'm not too knowledgeable about stuff all the way back in the day there, so I'd love to hear if you guys know anything that I don't.
That's all, folks.
If you guys liked the video, be sure to like the video, thumbs up the video, however you want to express that you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I'm uploading regularly, and that feels pretty good too. If your mom is the only person that told you that they love you today, I'll tell you that I love you too. Thank you for being a loyal Nimrod, even though I degrade you by calling something that stupid. Don't take it as an insult. That's actually a cool fucking name. Like, I think Rank 10 used to call his fan base, like, the Mental Gin or something. Ladies and Mental Gin or some shit like that. Imagine if, like, Cap G called his fan base, like, the Cap Gers. How stupid would that be? You guys are lucky you've got a cool fucking nickname. But that being said, if you guys did like the video, be sure to like, comment, definitely subscribe. And I will hopefully catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Nim signing out.